everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for our weekly recap of Sistas. This is season 4, episode 10. I know I'm behind. Don't come for me in the comments. Don't do that. Don't. Episode 10, and it was titled Our Favorite Places. All right, y'all. Real quick before I jump into this recap review, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. And if you end up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Now, yo, I know y'all like, what? Episode 10? Like, we on 11, girl. We about to be on 12. I know. You know what I'm saying? But I've been playing catch up for the last, 4 months. I've been playing catch up, y'all. So I feel like I'm finally caught up. And if I don't do a video recap review, 8 times out of 10 is going to be on my community page. So check that out. I did put Love After Lockup, my recap of that. I did put I think Love During Lockup up there. And I don't think I did Love is Blind and Reunion, but I will put that up there too. So 8 times out of 10, because sometimes I just don't feel like reviewing and recapping it. Oh, I also put Power, I think up to episode 5 up there. So, because sometimes I just watch it and I don't even feel like, because it ain't even worth my time to, do a review. So, that's why I said 8 times out of 10, I'll put a recap review on my community page. So, if you don't see a video face to face, I ain't forgot about y'all. Life just got busy. My business is booming. My relationship is booming. My family life is booming. And my job is booming. So, I'm playing catch up, y'all. I'm playing catch up. But I ain't forget, y'all. I still watch the shows, just not when they come out. So, I'll put a post on my community feed. So, check that out so y'all can see what I didn't watch and did like a little recap review. But Sistas, probably I'll do a review face to face. So, yeah. But it will be late. It will be late. But I'm going to do 10, and then I'm going to come back and do 11. And then by next week, which I heard maybe the season finale or a mid-season finale, I think, I will be able to do that one time. But it won't be Wednesday. It won't drop Wednesday. It'll drop Thursday because, like I said, I watch it on the app, and I don't watch it in real time. So, with that said, let's just jump into this recap review. Now, I did watch this on Thursday, so my memory ain't all that good, but I did write down some important stuff, so if I forgot something, don't hold it against me. Anyway, so it picked up where episode 9 left off at, and it was with Zach going to jail, and then Jake and his lawyer handing Zach some paper. So he reading the paper, he like, child support, 3 years old. I mean, I don't even know this girl. Who is this girl? Whatever, like that. I don't even know this. Yes, she say her name Heather Lee Jennings. What country ass? I don't even know no country ass girl with that name like that. I don't even know no girl like that. And at first, I was thinking it was that girl. Remember in season 1 where they had showed and she was faking the pregnancy or whatever. And I was like, maybe she really was pregnant and she was saying she wasn't pregnant, but she had took about 5, 10, 11 pregnancy test and they came back negative. So I was like, well, maybe she had tested too soon or the pregnancy test wasn't right. She needed a blood test, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think her name was Heather. So, and that wasn't 3 years ago, you know what I'm saying? You know how Tyler worked. So it wasn't her. But who is Heather? Like, is this something that Hayden and concocted? But I don't really think so, because why would he go back 3 years and then make up some child? And so then they had showed him a picture, and it was like, Jake was like, that baby look like you. That baby look like you. Murray said that baby yours. It got your lips. You know how they be doing, child. But anyway, he like, no, this ain't my baby. This ain't my baby. What you talking about? What you talking about? They gonna tell Zach he gotta pay $37,000 in back child support, and he gotta pay that today so he can get out. And he like, no, man, no. And I'm like, Zach, you got millions upon millions upon millions. So you gonna sit in jail versus paying this girl back the $37,000. Like, if it turned out like y'all do a paternity test and all that other stuff, and it turned out that it ain't yours, then you might get that money back. Because I feel like the court will hold that money versus sending it directly to the woman. I think they will hold that money until they get legal documentation saying that this is really his child. So I don't think it would just go straight to her from the court or whatever like that. But he like, no. And then they was like, well, you gonna sit in here, man. He was like, well, I can do the wire transfer, but the bank closes after 4 o'clock. And they was like, yeah, and then it's a Friday, so your ass gonna be here till Monday. And then he was like, well, so Jake was like, well, you know what? No, Zach was like, well, I got cash money in my safe. He was like, well, Jake was like, well, let me get the combo. And I'm like, Jake, we don't know you like that. We just met you yesterday, my nigga. So then Zach was saying the same thing, like, nah, fam, I don't know you like that. So then he was like, well, I'll spot you the $37,000. You just pay me back because I know you good for it because you got millions and millions in your account. So he was like, all right, bet. So Jake gonna do that for him. Zach, of course, he mad and stuff like that. We see Andy. She looking all cute because she gonna meet Danny for happy hour and stuff like that. And Danny is basically double checking to see that Andy gonna pay or whatever, because you know Danny don't want to give up her own money. I feel like Danny got a nice little savings account that she stacked up on, and she just don't want to pay her own money, which ain't nothing wrong with that. But she like, you still paying because I done double fisted these drinks. She like, yeah, girl, I got you. Oh, okay. So they drinking, they talking, and basically Danny like, look, I know why you wanted to meet me. You wanted me to talk to you or whatever because you want to hear the truth or whatever, and you want to hear a different opinion than Karen's and stuff, because we don't do this. And then Andy trying to think like, well, we know, and I'm like, yeah, y'all don't do one-on-ones. It's either Karen and Danny. I'm not Karen and Danny. Danny and Bree or Karen and Andy. So like, she wasn't lying or nothing like that. But Danny ends up telling Andy, like, you should keep all that shit. You earned it. And you shouldn't go back with dude. But you gonna do what you want to do because you grown. So, and then Andy was like, so what you feel like, you don't feel like I should be with him? She was like, no, I don't feel like you're gonna be with him. But I feel like you're gonna do what you want to do anyway. And sometimes the best way to get over somebody is to keep going back with them until you tired. And right now you're not tired. So Andy was like, damn, you got some good insight. You got some insight. And I'm like, Danny do be speaking the truth, but y'all don't want to listen to her. Y'all always want to shut her down, tell her be quiet, because y'all don't want to hear the truth. Y'all want to be coddled and stuff like that. But then when it comes to it, y'all really do want the truth, and y'all just confusing. But anyway, they talk about that. And then Preston ended up walking into the bar with some chick, child. I said, Lord. And so Andy was like, well, you over Preston, you don't mind if he date other people, because she had peeped them out her peripheral. And so she was like, well, no, like, he could do whatever he want to do. And then that's when we saw Preston and the old chick. And then she like, well, what he ain't never take me nowhere, but he popping out with all these chicks and all this other stuff and all that crap. And so Andy was like, okay, girl, well, he here or whatever. Then we see Maurice. He storms into the apartment and whatever. And then Calvin, he like, cause Q was in Maurice's bedroom, child. So Maurice like, well, where he at? He was like, he in your room. You ain't let him in here. He was like, no, I ain't let him in here. He's like, so you ain't give him no key? You ain't let him in here? So how he get? I said, Calvin, you slow today. Like, he was acting slow. And so he was like, he broke in here, like, he broke in here before, so why wouldn't he break in here again or whatever? So anyway, they go into Maurice's room. Q in there, butterball naked, child, dang-a-lang all out. Calvin like, you just in here butt naked? I thought he was about to jump on Q, but he didn't. He ended up getting out. Maurice all weak in the knees, child, but Maurice he stood strong and was just like, you gotta get yourself out of here. You gotta get out. He did fall on the bed. I was cracking up. So then he went into the shower. He didn't really go into the shower, but he went into the shower and told Calvin, like, put him out or whatever. Calvin was like talking to Q, because Q finally came out with his clothes on. And Q basically telling Calvin his sad story, how he had to hustle, he ain't had nobody or whatever. And Calvin basically was like, we do not care. Like, we do not care. Like, there's a way you could go about things than stealing and the way you doing it or whatever. So he ended up doing his little sob story or whatever. And then he basically put him out. Calvin put him out the house. Pam, we at the shop, and Karen's still at the shop. Child, who knows what time it is, but Karen and Pam still at the shop or whatever. And Pam ends up telling Karen that she finally got the tea on a cop. So she finally tells Karen that the lady was a cop or whatever. So Karen, she go into whole protective mode, like Zach's still her man and all this other stuff. Like, oh my God, I gotta tell him, I gotta tell him. Pam like, girl, what is you doing? Like, oh my God, you still in love with him. You still in love with him. Girl, you got to get off of that or whatever. And so she's like, girl, I gotta go do some work, Pam. She's like, girl, we is close. So then she ends up rushing out. Pam like, all she want is that Z or whatever. And so Karen rushed off to go warn Zach, but I'm like, girl, you late because he already in jail, but she don't know that. Danny and Andy wrapping up. Danny ends up taking Andy's credit card. I said she really trusts her because I wouldn't trust Danny with my card at all because she gonna rack up a whole load of shit. Okay, she talking about something. She gonna make a to-go meal for her work shift tomorrow or something like that. I said, but it didn't look like she ended up doing that. It looked like she ended up leaving after she went to go talk to Preston, of course, and then go say, go tell the girl that they was effing and we do it every day and all this stuff. Preston was like, girl, what is you doing? And so the girl was like, wait, what is going on with y'all? And then we found out that Zach had introduced her to Preston. I said, child. But Preston claimed that Zach wasn't involved, but how else would they have known? How else would she have known or talked to Preston if it wasn't for somebody in the middle connecting them to? So I was just like, whatever. What do we see? We see Calvin basically telling Maurice that Q was outside on the streets, and not the streets, on the steps. Child. I said he on the steps, and it was about the rain, and of course Q blowing Maurice's phone up. Maurice telling Calvin to mind his business. Calvin ended up storming out to go meet Bree, of course, child. So then we see Danny. She ended up leaving the happy hour and went over to Bree's house to talk to her and tell her how she ran into Preston and stuff. First, Bree was just like, you and Andy was out? And she was like, girl, you already know what that was about. She wanted me to tell her to stay with dude and all this other stuff. She was like, yeah, I can see that. And then they finally got back on the whole Preston thing and Danny thing or whatever. And Zach, she told Brie like Zach ended up hooking him up with old chick. And so she was like, well, why would Zach do that? And she was like, because he being a bitch or whatever. But wait until I talk to him about yada, yada, yada. So I was like, Danny gonna get into his ass or whatever. And so Danny gonna say that she liked the cop, that he cute, he's sexy and all this other stuff. I said, girl, no. Short stuff, no. If you don't find you somebody else to bounce back off of Preston and the cop. Preston, the cop. No. So, I'm not saying the cop ugly, but he ain't no Preston. Like, he ain't gonna toss you. Girl. But anyway, Bree tells Danny about the African. And so she was like, what? Let me see your phone. So she ends up texting Calvin. She was like, no, I'm supposed to be meeting up with Calvin. I said, well, Bree, you all in your pajamas and stuff. Like, once I hit them pajamas, I ain't coming outside. So, as I take that shower and put on my pajamas, it's a wrap below. But anyway, she like, I'm supposed to be meeting Calvin or whatever. She was like, all right, let me text him. I can't meet up tonight. He was like, okay. So then she ends up saying, well, what's the old dude name? She was like, his name Bio. She was like, oh, okay. And so she texted him, meet up for dinner, because after Bree told Danny that he had all this money, she was like, girl, I'm trying to get you paid and laid. So she ends up texting Bio to meet at the Olive Bar that night at 8. So they go get Bree dressed up and stuff like that. We see Robin. He calls Andy. Andy is in the penthouse and she chilling and stuff. And Robin's still in that plane, child. But he claimed he get back to him. I said, did he ever get out the plane? I'm sorry. So he on his way back to Atlanta. He want to set up a date between him and Andy tomorrow or whatever. So she say okay or whatever. He was like, something in your voice telling me that you back on the fence. And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about or whatever. But like, I'm not back on no fence. Like, it is what it is. What time you coming back? He was like, well, I'll let you know when I come back or whatever. And then he was all insinuating like, well, what did he send you? He sent you flowers. Well, he sent you all this other stuff or whatever. And she was just like, what? No, I'm just saying like, ain't no fence. Like, she's single. She can talk to whoever she want to talk to. And for real, I don't really trust Robin. And I don't trust Gary neither. I ain't never really liked Gary, and I still don't like Gary. He can buy me things and stuff like that, but I don't trust him. Anyway, but I don't like Robin. For the simple fact is, he already knew that Andy was in a relationship. She was engaged. And then he was still trying to press up on her. Like, you disrupting boundaries and stuff. Even though, like, you liked her or whatever, you could have kept that to yourself. And then the whole fact that, yeah, they wasn't together or dating, nothing like that. But when she had said no to sex and then left, he had already called up some honey dip and already had her in the bed. So when Andy came back, then he gonna invite her for a threesome and stuff. And I was just like, he just want Andy for sex. And it don't really seem like he want her for her mind. Now, Gary, on the other hand, he want to wine and dine her. He all in her mind and all in her head and stuff like that. He got his issues and all that other crap. So I don't really feel like she should be with Gary, and I don't really feel like she should be with Robin. I feel like she need to go find her somebody who gonna be for her and not play these mind games and all that other stuff. So I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all feel about Robin, but I don't like him and I don't trust him. Like, he do too much. He too pushy for me. But anyway, Karen at Zach's, okay? So she outside of Zach's or whatever. Fatima pulls up. Fatima goes over to Karen and is like, what you out here for? What's going on? She was like, well, I just came up here to talk to Zach or whatever, you know. But she was like, you can knock on the door and go in the house. No, I don't know. I just need to talk to him alone. Well, okay. Well, you want me to go get him or whatever? Yeah, I mean, I'm just so effing mad. I'm really so mad or whatever. And I'm trying to be okay with this. I'm just looking at this place and just seeing how well he doing and stuff like that. And why now? Why all of a sudden? Why he doing all this with you in a couple weeks when he couldn't do with me in 3 years? And she was like, well, that had made a difference. I mean, maybe it would have made a difference. It would have made a big difference or whatever. And so then Fatima starts telling her about how her ex is doing well with her, her ex is doing well with his new wife and stuff like that. So it happens or whatever. And she like, and then Karen like, yeah, they just take all the stuff that we done taught them and built them up and stuff like that. And then they go move it on to the next person and stuff. Like, I'm just mad. And I don't want to be mad and I don't want to be jealous, but I just don't want that. And I got an amazing man at home that's going to do everything for me, but I just can't get over this man. I'm mad about this. I'm just mad about this. And so she was like, never mind. You know what? Just go get Zach. And she was like, all right, but you can come inside. No, I'm just going to sit right here in my car. So Fatima goes into the place and there's these workers all in a circle. Child, they ain't working at all. They just, child. Anyway, so Fatima go talk to the foreman or whatever, and he basically tell Fatima like he worried that his boys won't get paid because Zach got pulled out in handcuffs. So she like, what? Jail? So then she go outside. She go tell what's the child name? Karen, that Zach ain't in there. She was like, well, I see his car out here. If he don't want to talk to me, he could just say he don't want to talk to me. She was like, girl, he not in there. Would you like to go inside and make me show you for yourself? No, that's okay. That's okay. So then she get into the car. Fatima hot mad. She called Hayden up, and Hayden like, what is you talking about? She was like, you did, bitch. You did or whatever. And so he like, what? And so then Aaron ends up calling Karen because she finally made it. Did she make it home? She was somewhere, child. Or maybe she was in a car. I don't know, child. But he said that he, I feel like she was home. But he said that he done made her an appointment. He was in the car. He said he made her an appointment with the OBGYN and all this other stuff. She was like, well, I don't know if my insurance going to pay for it. He was like, it's okay. I got it, whatever. Because he basically want to prove to her like this is his baby. But she, you know how she is, child. So at any rate, he gonna pick her up tomorrow, meet me at the salon, blah, blah, blah. He did ask her that she wants some ice cream and pickles, and she was like, no, I'm good. So, we see Brie, and she looking like a gold disco ball. She look real cute and stuff. She had hair twisted to the side. I said, okay, girl. So then they in a private room at the Olive Bar, and Bayo, because he own the restaurant, he got that good stuff or whatever. So he pouring the wine and stuff. He already ordered appetizer, child, and then not Calvin stalking and popped up at the restaurant talking about something. Yeah, cheers to a good date. I said, child, if Tyler don't stop playing with me and Calvin. But anyway, y'all, that was episode 10. I'm gonna be back in a little bit with episode 11. I already watched it, so y'all gonna see this probably like 2 hours apart, uploaded on the screen, so I don't want to overwhelm y'all or nothing like that. But I don't want to say your girl is back because I don't know, but I'm gonna actually put some time into this, and I'm telling y'all, I feel like I'm on track with all my shows that I watch, and then I can add another show once Sistas go on break. But anyway, y'all, we'll talk about that later. So like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And until next time, y'all, peace.